have Natajya Smith. She's a graduating senior majoring in mass communications, originally from Indianapolis. During high school, she was very involved uh, at the campus, in school, in her classes, as well as definitely in the community. She was an A student at Warren Central High School. She was a Circle City pageant participant. I believe she was a intern with the Annapolis Star. Is that correct? So very, very involved, and she made a great decision to pursue higher education at Savannah State. So this interview is just to dive a little bit deeper into her background, into her story, to motivate other uh, high school students. So hey, how are you?
Well, hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I can't complain. So just to open this up and to start this interview, could you take me back to when you were a high school senior, deciding about going to college and picking out colleges? Uh, how did you find out about Savannah State University?
Yeah, of course. Um, so I'll say my mindset kind of changed. Um, so when I went into my senior year, initially I didn't really know what college I wanted to go to. I just knew I wanted to go to college and I wanted to do TV. But at first I did kind of have that mindset, that I don't want to go to an HBCU. I don't want to be put in a bubble, just because I got used to that environment being from Indiana. My class was as diverse. Most of them, I was one of the only Black girls, so I kind of got used to that. But I had a counselor. His name was Mr. Fame. I'll always remember him. Every time I would go into his office, he just had all of these HBCU pennant flags all over his office. He always had on an HBCU sweatshirt. And so one day I said, hey, Mr. Fame, did you graduate from an HBCU? And he said, no, but it was my biggest regret. So I'm like, wow. So he told me about HBCUs, and from then on, I went to, HBCU tours, and I fell in love with the atmosphere. And so going into my senior year, I knew I wanted to go to an HBCU. I only applied to HBCUs. I didn't apply to IU, Purdue, Ball State, basically where every one of my peers were going. I just had an HBCU on my mind. And I didn't know about Savannah State University, I would say, but I've always been familiar with Savannah. I do have family from Claxton, Savannah, and my first time actually visiting the city was at 9 years old, for a family reunion. So it was pretty cool as a coming back when I went to a college fair at Christmas Addicts High School back in Indianapolis, Indiana in 2018.
Right.
It was all the HBCUs applied. Some people got accepted on the spot. Some people got scholarships on the spot. And I stopped by this big orange and blue table that said Savannah State University. And actually, one of the ambassadors or representatives there was from Indianapolis herself.
Wow.
And so she was telling me about the university. And I'm like, nah, because in my head, I'm like, in cat and Spellman. But I'm like, okay, my mom was so excited about the news. But what actually made me choose Savannah State was for me specifically for my major, television. I kind of was spoiled with the equipment that we got in high school. We had some pretty high tech, pretty expensive equipment. So we were lucky to have that. But a con to that was finding an HBCU with, if not the same, but better equipment and television opportunities. It was kind of hard, going on tours. But when I went to Savannah State campus, I went into Whiting Hall and saw the green screen and anchor desk and even the camera equipment. I knew Savannah State was definitely going to be not only a great home away from home for me, but also be not only still continuing, but enhancing my skills in the media industry.
Wow. So this is a very very inspirational to me, and very inspirational with the local Indianapolis chapter of Savannah State University National Alumni Association. Because recently we did the Crispus Atticus College Fair. I think
Okay.
back in October of 2023, and coming up on April 17th, uh, we have the opportunity to go to, I think it's called Lawrence, MSD Lawrence.
Okay, yeah, Lauren. Yeah.
Right. And so the counselor that you mentioned, I believe his name is Michael James.
Yep.
He now works at Lawrence. So
Wow.
it's very full full circle moment. So fast forward, you decided to go to Savannah State. Now you're a freshman. So I read somewhere that you was very homesick, and you and you struggle with that, early on. So I think thinking about high school students from the Midwest, from Indianapolis, going to Savannah State is a great decision, but it will be somewhat challenging, to be quite honest. And so, some of the things that I think could present a challenge is, some students may get homesick, or the traveling costs. So, just first, could you tell us, how did you maneuver around being homesick?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Um, of course, the first decision, when I first mentioned that I would be going to Georgia, 12 hours away from home, the initial kind of setback that everyone says was like, "Ooh, girl, that's hard."
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think it really, at the time, I didn't really have that as a concern
Right.
because, while I was at home, I would be gone, for maybe dance competitions or so. But, reality did hit when I got on campus. I'm going to school with kids who are either from Florida or, Atlanta or so. So they're going home every weekend, every day. So it did kind of, I did feel, a type of way that I didn't have that luxury to just, drive home on the weekend just for 4 hours to go see my family. So, it did get homesick. But, ways that I kind of got out of that mindset was, spending time around my friends. I even had such close up relationship with them to where their parents would invite me to, calm down, especially because, they understood, they didn't want me by myself. But, going back to stating, I did have family in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So Thanksgiving, if I had to drive to Valdosta, to see my aunt, or visit them, that was something I had to, option doing.
Okay. So what about the travel costs? How did you travel from Indianapolis? What was your choice of a mode of transportation?
Yeah, well, before I, saved up for my car, it was definitely, flights.
Okay.
That was something my mom kind of, she knew that, at a certain point in time, you got to book this flight days coming for the winter or for spring break, whatever it was for so.
Mm-hmm.
But initially, it did start off as flight. But once I got my car, I did kind of, have to prioritize when I would be able to come home.
Okay.
So I would, drive 12 hours to go home. But I wouldn't drive it by myself. My mom would fly in from Indianapolis to Savannah, and
Mm-hmm.
then she would help me drive.
Okay, so it's a 15-hour drive, but the flight, how long is that flight?
I believe, well, for us, it's 12 hours. How we would do it is we would drive 4 hours to Tennessee, stay in Tennessee, and then drive 4 hours to Atlanta, stay in Atlanta, drive 4 hours to Atlanta to Savannah. So that's how we would kind of break it up.
Okay.
Um, as far as flights, it's really hard to get like a connecting flight that's straight way. From Savannah to Indianapolis, there is going to be a layover. So usually if I fly straight from Savannah, I would have to stay, at the North Carolina airport or Charlotte, airport for a layover. Then I would take Charlotte to Indianapolis.
And one thing that I recently found out, I guess it's very new, but
Mhm.
Allegiant is offering direct, I think, flights from Cincinnati to, I said Cincinnati, but Indianapolis to Savannah, as well as Cincinnati to Savannah. So that may be something great for the aspiring students to, check out, check in. Uh, so you said it was the community feeling, the family atmosphere that helped you got over, being homesick. Okay,
Mhm.
so I guess for more, for more so of the fun, what was the experiences like at Savannah State? So I know you hit the books hard at SSU, but what were some of the fun experiences that came along with it?
Now I will be honest. For me, during high school, I was so focused on my resume and trying to get to college that I didn't really get to have fun in high school. I mean, I had fun in my organizations, don't get me wrong,
And
but
so,
I wouldn't hang out with my friends, so and so's having a party on the weekend. Like I either one time out of school I had to go to a dance competition. So, I wasn't really that just a school person. But so, with that, once I got to college, I saw you could do both. I'm like, man, our SGA president can, be the face of the school and, they're at the beach party. So I kind of had that euphoria of the fact that, you could do both. I would say I did, get kind of caught up in the fact that no one, no one's gonna be calling your mom if you're not, on time and stuff like that. So I did kind of, I will be honest, I did get lost in the sauce. But I found myself back because, the same thing in high school. If you want to, still be in these organizations and maintain your positions or titles, you got to make sure you're still academically, academically doing what you need to do.
right.
But to answer the question, as far as parties, my first day in Savannah, me and a couple of friends, we really Ubered to the beach. That the first day, didn't even unpack. Like, so I definitely was open to getting to know not even just the campus, but the Savannah community.
Gotcha. So, there's some things that I want to touch on. So, you said in high school you more so was down in the books. So, you
Mhm.
actually graduated high school in 3 years. Is that right?
No, well, I graduated in 2018. I will say I graduated in 2018, but my last year really wasn't too. My last year, I didn't really have classes, but no, I would say I graduated in 4 years in high school.
Gotcha. And so, at Savannah State, you was Miss Kappa Alpha Psi, right? You were a part of the National Council of Negro Women, a Tiger Roar board member. And so, for the students that are not familiar with that organization, that's like the school's newspaper, right? Editorial.
Yes.
Uh, you volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club, I believe every Tuesday. Volunteered at the Old Savannah Mission. So college in itself is a great experience, filled with fun, but he also has you have the opportunity to do meaningful work. You have the opportunity to really contribute to the community. And so, one thing when I was like researching you that stood out, and I definitely applaud you for that. As far as Savannah and Savannah State, like you said, it's adjacent to Tybee Island, I believe. I think it's like a 30 minutes. Savannah in itself is a tourist destination. Many people come into Savannah for what is it? The St. Patrick's Day parade, many different events all throughout the year. Atlanta is not that far. Jacksonville isn't terribly far as well. So you have a lot of different attractions within driving distance. Just to come full circle, I definitely want to highlight you because recently you earned the opportunity at a paid internship, and not just any paid internship, but an internship that is directly associated with what you want to do long term. So again and again, I definitely congratulate you. And a bit of me, I may be a little bit jealous. So, could you talk about that great internship that you recently earned?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Um, well, first, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was, for me personally, I've done a lot of internships, paid, not paid. But for me, this one would be the most, not important, but this one for me is the most accomplishing. Just because like Shannon Sharpe graduated, he's in a it's Penn State alum. So for me, that just speaks a lot, and I definitely watch Club Shay Shay Nightcap, before Cat Williams, had came out. I was definitely into it. But yeah, the process was really, intense. So I think they sent the email to us. Like, I will be honest, it was not last minute, but it was.
Mm-hmm.
I believe like what applications was the 28th or so. I at least saw it luckily on LinkedIn.
Right.
I saw it maybe like 3 days before it was due.
Wow.
So soon I just saw you need a cover letter, a resume. I'm like, okay, I have those. Let me just make sure I adjust it to the position.
Mm-hmm.
Turned it in. Got a response from the producer of the volume media. Speaking with Megan, the producer was just so awesome. She made me feel comfortable. Definitely go ahead and find voice to be expected. And then meeting this, executive producer of Nightcap, Ashley, and the producer of Shay Shay, CJ. One thing that stood out to me is how young they were.
Wow.
I think one thing, at least for me in high school, our professors told us how hard it was for coming out of college to get a job, but now the world's changing, and a lot of even I intern at WCOC now, and
Mm-hmm.
the room is filled with people fresh out of college.
Oh, wow.
So just to see, an executive producer, so young, not only young, but is a woman or has the same complexion as me was very motivating. But yeah, the process is a lot. We have to meet a different executive every day. Not only are they saying, what they expect from you, you also have to, say what it is you want to come out of the program. But it's pretty exciting. We're already up and running yesterday. I already had to start working yesterday. So it's definitely I'm gonna be put to work. So I'm definitely expecting that. But
Right.
yeah, I'm really excited.
Right. Because Shannon Sharpe. He's one of the most notable alums of Savannah State. He played in the NFL, I believe, for more than like 10 seasons. He won a Super Bowl. He's a Hall of Famer tight end. And so, very well off, very distinguished alum. And so now he's into sports broadcasting. He's a commentator, and he's venturing off into business. Uh, he's an entrepreneur, and a part of his entrepreneurial, I guess, endeavors is now he's doing podcasts. And so he has this Club Shay Shay, everybody knows that podcast, and the Nightcap with another former NFL player, Chad Johnson. And so it's very moving. It's very moving that you had this opportunity to basically plug in with a notable alum. And when I say like plug in, I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty certain, and this is why I'm so happy because I understand how big this will be for you. I also understand how it would bridge to like full-time employment, how you just told me about the connections that you're already making. So you already connected with a Zet. So that's pretty cool. And so, uh, outside looking in, I heard you say early on that you knew you wanted to go into TV, the media world, and you took a chance. You found a perfect HBCU for you. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for you. And out of it, when you got on campus, you did your work, you had your fun, you were heavily involved on your campus community as well. So you continued that activism, so to speak. And so you deserve this. And so at Savannah State, for the high school students that will be watching this, our motto is that you can get anywhere from here. So the idea is that you come into Savannah State University, you work hard as you can, you join this family atmosphere, you network with your professors and all of the resources available on campus, and once you're graduating, you can literally get to where you want to be. And so that's a perfect dive into your story. And so the last thing to wrap it up, for the high school students that will be watching this, for the students back home in Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and all over the Midwest, Chicago, Cleveland, Columbus, Fort Wayne, all over the Midwest. And the reason why I'm saying that, because again, I'm part of the Midwest chapter of the National Alumni Association, and I'm advocating for more students from the Midwest to actually become aware of the opportunities at Savannah State and to enroll at Savannah State. So, what would you say to high school students that are still looking for colleges, are interested in HBCUs? What would you say to them about attending and doing their research on Savannah State?
Yeah. Well, I'd say the number one thing, when it comes to looking into colleges and researching colleges, I think initially stray away from going to the college because of its name.
Hmm.
You want to make sure that, I could have chosen to go to Yale, but if Yale doesn't have a great television program, I'm wasting money.
Right.
So I think definitely choosing a university or school that caters to you, not even just major, environment. For me, I went to, going over in big schools. So I knew to go to a smaller school, and Savannah State is kind of around the same class as my high school. And I enjoy that. I know I'm late to class if I see a certain person walking by. So, it's looking into stuff like that. But specifically Savannah State, you want to make sure that you're going to the place. I really wanted to say, yeah, that's catering. So not even necessarily to bring down all state, but they're going to a big school like that. Professor classes are like 1 to 100. Where in my university, it's professor is 1 to 20, 1 to 30. If I'm late to class, my professor is going to FaceTime me and be like, why are you late? And I love that. It shows that they care that I'm here. Of course, when you get to college, and I'm sure your high school teachers are telling you now, the professors, they tell the professors, like, they're going to get paid regardless. But my university, my professor is going to make sure that I, understanding what kids out the class, and that I'm on time and stuff like that. I love that in our university, and that goes back to when I referenced that it's a home away from home. So a lot of things that, especially being back at home, some of my parents even said, what set them back from going out of state, even to get as close to Kentucky State, what stopped them was just being afraid of stepping out of their comfort zone in their environment. But sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith. And for me, when I did that, I was taken care of, whether it was the lunch lady who made sure that I got, an extra super ride, whether it was just, the campus police, who can tell if, something's wrong just by the look in my and then these are real examples of things that I got to experience. So
Oh, wow.
I think that's just one thing I just want to say. Don't choose a school because of if it'll look good on paper. And if you want to choose a school that chooses you, honestly.
Right. And to follow up on that, and then I'll wrap it up. Savannah State has strong programs in business. I attended the Master's in Public Administration program. That's a strong program. The Marine Science, because it's adjacent to uh, the coast, Georgia coastline, as well as marshes. They have definitely a lot of equipment catered to that discipline. A lot of the education program is strong, and a lot of alums are successful teachers and educators. Can you name some of the other strong programs at Savannah State?
I mean, yeah, not to be biased, but our JNC program, we're one of the only accredited in the state of Georgia.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
hey, our television program, like you mentioned our teacher program, most of all my friends who majored in education are teachers right now.
Wow. And another thing that I thought was cool about the communication program at Savannah State, it's an on-campus like radio station, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so students actually get the opportunity to, have their own shows and, get a hands-on experience. So I definitely thought that was cool. Do you have any other last remarks?
I would just say the last thing, um, that's kind of pertaining to the internship. Even kids at my school now, they're like, oh, I would have applied to this internship, but I don't know what I want to do. Um, a lot of kids, especially mass comm, who have the opportunity that they have, switch their major, and people don't even know that. So I do just want to be overwhelmed with, especially in high school. Don't get overwhelmed with pressure to have to do something, now. It even took me kind of now to figure out what, category in that time that I wanted to work. So don't get overwhelmed with pressure to feel as if you have to know that you want to be, working for, by the time you graduate or even when you get there. Again, there's kids who switch their majors in college. So I do want to say don't get overwhelmed because I remember in high school that was a pretty overwhelming process because it's around that time where everyone's announcing where they're going and what they want to do. It's okay if you don't know what you want to do yet.
Right. And so just to wrap up, thank you for participating in this interview. Thank you for the time you dedicated in doing this. And overall, thank you for being a great example that others can, look up to and follow in your footsteps. Uh, Thank you so much.
Thank you